So these guys are tricky. I'm pretty sure these are from test 7C, if I'm not mistaken. And what makes these tough is that they play on kind of a shape that we're not really used to. When I see these, when I'm in the conventions question and I see these shapes, which is one transition word, it's either going to be however, though, maybe for example, the same transition word 4 times in punctuations orbiting on either side of it, I do the same thing. First, I consider if I have a complete sentence on either side. Because if I have a complete sentence on either side, that would eliminate this one and this one. So I go looking for a complete sentence on either side. My verb that tells me when is this one. Right? We would have called it a verb that time. There's my subject. And on the right side, I have experience, they experience. There's my verb that tells me when, and the subject is here. So since I have a complete sentence on either side, these two are trashy poo. Then we consider where the contrast is. C is making the claim that contrast is present between this right side and they are hardly pristine. Then we have B, which is making an opposing claim, which is that the contrast is between this guy, the first sentence, and the right side. We know that the contrast is between sentence 1 and sentence 2 because they have not yet melted and separated into, right? It means that they are undifferentiated. Even though they are undifferentiated, they are hardly pristine. I bet that was a bit overwhelming, and two things are kind of going on here. One is because you recognize that though can be different parts of speech. You probably remember just doing certain things last year. We would learn, or 2 years ago, where we would learn ways to navigate things through parts of speech, but I kind of want you to forget all of those things. Don't forget that though is anything other than what it is here. Don't think about however being anything else other than what it is there. Same is true of the other thing. This image can elucidate the weirdest concept, which is that these three sentences all mean the exact same thing. I move this, however, in different spots, but whether it is sentence initial, right after the subject, or at the end, it's always demonstrating some sort of contrast between 1 and 2. Then we can look at the one and the bottom right below. It doesn't matter if the however in the third sentence is at the start, after the subject, or at the end. It's demonstrating contrast between the two. Try not to consider that however could be other things or that though could be other things. You kind of just attack it in the same way. Steps, just to reiterate, we check for a complete sentence on the other side, then we go looking for where the contrast is. So we'll close this one, and we'll take a peeky at this guy. I see the same transition word. I am in the convention section. I see that punctuation is orbiting around it. I'm going to check to see if I have a complete sentence on either side. I immediately am going to go to the right side just because I see the easy subject pronoun she relies, so I do have a complete sentence over here. Then when I look to the left, I start with an infinitive, which is not a good look, to manifest the warm and welcoming atmosphere. So there's an infinitive with an object of that infinitive. This, that is a relative pronoun, which starts a dependent clause. So to the left side, I don't have a complete sentence. Since I don't have a complete sentence, he's poopy, and then it's going to be one of these two guys. This would be kind of entailing that the thing before it is a complete sentence, but let's just pretend like though is not anything other than what it is, and let's go on little goblin mode. Then we'll just treat it the exact same way. That I can't see where my cursor is. There it is. This we can pretend is saying that there's contrast between what's over here and the thing before it, which will make orange and red not the best contrasting colors. Whereas, though, by having punctuation surrounding it, I should not use the same color, punctuation surrounding it, we can just move it to the start and it's saying that there's contrast between the first sentence. So I like it between 1 and 2, even though she primarily uses, she occasionally relies. So that's the mix up between those two things. What I can do is close this guy. I've got nothing on the screen now. What did I want to show next? Oh, I wanted to open this, and then show the slideshow. So what you can do is give it a go on this one. Pause the screen. Try to solve it because I'm about to start explaining. All right, I'm explaining. In this one, I can check for a complete sentence on either side. On the left, I have my complete sentence of sand is. On the right side, I have deposits lend. Therefore, there's a complete sentence on either side. A and C are going to fall, so it's either B and D. B and D. The difference between these, B is saying that there's contrast between the sand at Tomorrow's Beach and deposits of the thing that's blue, white, and blue. And then D is saying that there's contrast between red and white. I know that there's contrast between red and white because most is in contrast to unusual. In fact, the blue section we have unusual and unique are just the exact same concept. Oops. Try to solve this one. I'm going to start explaining in a couple of seconds. So you do you, give me a pauserino, give it a solve. So in this one, I'll check for a complete sentence on either side. This is a hypothetical designation, is a complete sentence, so I have one on the left. I check the right side. That is also a complete sentence. The only one that this eliminates is A. Then we've got B, C, and D. B and C, we'll just say do the exact same thing, even though you like the notion of a comma there, right? I'm trying to skip so much of nuances between parts of speech with this stuff because it's just, you recognize that all the stuff that you know and try to navigate is just too much. So by simplifying this way, we'll be far more successful. So B and C, even though C is gross, B and C are saying that there's contrast between the white and the blue. Sentence 1 and 2 are saying, or D is accessing contrast in the first part, and we know that D is the right answer because it's saying that even though it's said to be, it is only a hypothetical designation. And we could just prove that there's not contrast between white and blue because these ideas are in line. A hypothetical designation is a postulation. So that's the little two-step process that we can do for these things. What made that second one so hard is just recognizing that that infinitive was not a complete sentence.